Hey guys, this is Karen from Blue Rooster Farm, and in today's video we are going to be opening up our Open Gate Quilt subscription box for the month of June. It's already June. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to make this cute ruffled Kleenex holder for our ruffled tote. I think you're going to enjoy this. And it's just one of the attachments that I'm going to be making for you in the next couple of weeks. I have another one that I'll be making on the next video, and then I think I've got another one after that. So at least 3 things that we can add to our laptop carrier. So if you're interested in any of these things, oh, and also at my intro, I'm just going to give you a walk around the farm so you can see what's growing and how things are going. Because if you're like me, you're always interested to see the progress of the plants and the gardens and how things are growing. So that's just going to be in the intro. So if you're interested in any of these things, stick around. sticking around. Well, we've got our box and we're going to be opening up our June Open Gate Quilt subscription box. Now, Monique, the owner, gifts this box to me each month, and I really appreciate it because I really enjoy these boxes. They are full of great fabric and great patterns. Now, there is going to be a change this month, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm going to put a link in the description box below, so if you're interested in getting this box, you can just click on that link. And if you don't mind, just let Monique know that I sent you, and I would really appreciate that. So let's get this open. I know if you've watched my channel before, you know that I don't like to open these boxes beforehand because I like to be surprised with you. And subscription boxes are just so fun to get. And I know it's tricky, especially when you're on a budget, to have these, but they are really fun. But here's what it looks like when you get it. She's got it nicely wrapped, just like you're getting a really nice gift. And inside, we always have a sheet of paper that tells us what's inside. So let me grab my glasses here. So in this box, we're going to have one main project. And this is the change. Instead of having a secondary project that's smaller, we are now going to have a block of the month. And each month for 12 months, we're going to get one block pattern plus the fabric to make it. And so we'll read about that in a minute. Then we're going to get 2 spools of Ruffled thread, and we'll also get an extra fat quarter. So those are the things you're always going to be getting in your box. Now, if you are interested, there are some add-ons or extras, and you can get a fat quarter stash buster added to your box for $15 a month. You can also get the backing fabric for the main project, project number 1, for $14 a month. So those are add-ons that you can add. And then she also, when you purchase this box, she also does a class. It says June's class for the large project and block of the month, block number 1, will be held on Tuesday, June 23rd at 7 p.m. I will send a Zoom link to the class a day or 2 before the class day. So if you get this box, she'll have a whole video on how to put all of this together. So that will help walk you through the instructions. So that is what is new. We're going to be starting that block of the month, and I can't wait to see it. So let's just get started with project number 1. And if I peek in here, we have, it is called Flying Away, and it is 25 by 25. And this is really pretty fabric, and let's see what the fabric is. I was trying to see if I could guess what it is. It features honeyed horizon from Moda Fabrics. Fabric for the quilt, the binding, the full color pattern, and picture included. So let's see what that is. Ooh, that's pretty. So let me take it out of this bag so it won't glare for you. And she has things so nicely packed. Each project is all packed in its individual bag. But here is what it's going to look like, and it is 25 by 25. Isn't that pretty? And then the fabric, here's what it looks like all together. Very summery. We have this really pretty green. We have a pretty teal, dark teal with flowers on it. And that is probably, I would call that a coral. The flowers are coral. I don't know how they are showing up on your screen, but they are a coral. We have a white or cream background. It looks pretty much white. And then this pretty coral with the green that matches that first green. And I don't know if those are flower petals. They kind of look like flower petals, so that's probably what it is. Very pretty. So those will make a really pretty It could be a table topper, it could be a wall quilt. Oops, I think I'm showing you there's a bigger picture right there. Isn't that pretty? And it looks like there's just 2 blocks, yep. And not hard to make at all. So that one should go together nice and easily. Very pretty. That would go together easily in a day, easily. So that one might be something I need to do real quickly so I can have some more summer quilts or table toppers. The next thing we have in here is our block number 1 for our Sweet Polka Dot block of the month. I think that's the name of it. So here it says Sweet Polka Dot block of the month, block number 1. Oh, that's pretty. That's a star. And it is, let's see what it measures. And I'll take it out of this in case it was a glare. "12.5 inches square is what it's going to measure unfinished. So it'll finish at 12 inches. And again, let me show you a better picture of that. Isn't that pretty fabric? Let's see, it says, this includes motif fabrics for block, full color pattern, and picture. It doesn't tell the line of fabric. It may be doing different fabric lines that just coordinate. Each month, you will receive fabrics and instructions on how to make one block. You can save the block for the final quilt, or you can create additional blocks from your stash to make a suggested bonus project. At the end of the 12 months, I will give you the final instructions with the last block, and you can put it all together. So here are the fabrics that go along with this. And this is kind of a coral pink and a taupe, a darker taupe. Really pretty colors. And that's probably like the inspiration fabric right there. And then you have this pretty coral pink with dots. Can you see the dots there? This darker taupe. And this is a cream background. So this is all the fabric we need to put together that one block. That'll be fun. That's very doable because it's just, you know, you only get one block per month. So, you know, you've got 30 days to put this block together. I think I'm going to try doing it because I think this is very doable. And that will be a really pretty block. So I hope, like I say, really busy right now, but I hope that I can sew along with this one. Okay, the next thing is our thread, and these are 2 really pretty colors. One is light turquoise and one is pink, and they're both Aurifil. Love both of them. I think my camera's a little farther away today. We have our fat quarter, and this is just a pretty, pretty summer color. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? What line is this? Flower Patches from Moda Fabrics. So that is really pretty. Wouldn't that make a pretty pillow for like a porch or something? So summery. And then she included in my box the backing for Flying Away. And it is a green and the light green with circles. So I have everything that I need right here to put that project together. And like I said, that's an easy one to do. I wish I had all the time in the world to do these, but I'm hoping to find time. Now, from last month's box, I did get a chance to put together her little pouch. I think it was called like a bandana pouch. Thought I had the directions here, but I guess I don't. But I used my own fabric because I was keeping that bandana fabric for some other stuff. But this was the project number 2. Isn't it cute? And you could put like your clips or anything in there, or your scraps, and then just empty it out. But I've had it laying flat so that I could share it with you guys. I used some Lori Holt fabric on mine, but I thought it turned out really, really cute. So that was one of those small projects, and I was glad to try that. All right, that is what is in our box. Tell me what you think. We have project number 1, Flying Away. We have the block of the month, and this is Sweet Polka Dot. We have 2 spools of Aurifil thread, and we have a fat quarter flower patches. I think these are all cute. They're all perfectly doable, and I think this is the season for these. Easy to do in the summertime. I really want to do these, and like I said, it's just a matter of time. And you know, I've talked last time that I may not be able to do 2 videos a week, and probably just cutting it down to 1 so that I can get things done right now in the house, outside, in my sewing area. I was able to get this all quilted, and I've taken it off the long arm, but I've just got it draped right here to share with you. I need to do the binding. So once I get the binding, this is going to be going in my house for decor for this summer, and I think it turned out really cute. If you didn't watch the box opening for Fat Quarter Shop, where I told you this started off as Lisa Bonjean's Primitive Gatherings quilt along, and it was a mystery quilt, and it was really going along just fine. And then we had a clue that we had to make about 1,000 half square triangles, and at that time I was still working, and there was no way I was going to get that done. So I let it set for a couple of years, and then I decided I just need to get this done. It's really pretty. I've got all the fabric for it. I'll adjust it. And so the star block, this block right here, is the one that was finished. But then I added, I believe those are shoe fly blocks. So I added the shoe fly, and so with the 9 patch in the middle. And so I thought it turned out real well, just 2 simple blocks, and it worked perfectly. So that is what I have right here. I'm so happy to have that done. Now I've got my long arm ready, and I'm going to be quilting my placemats. I thought I'll just put all, I already did 1. I'll put all 5 on there, and I can quilt them all together, and that would save me a lot of time. So I'll be doing that next. And then I still have my hearts with the house in it that I need to quilt. So maybe that will go on next. We'll just see what other things I get done in the meantime. So that is what I have been up to so far in the sewing room. I did want to share with you a couple of finds. And before I do, remember, stick around to the end. And if you made this laptop carrier with the ruffles on it, today I'm going to show you how to add a ruffled tissue holder. And this can go onto any purse, any bag. I've done it to for my purse. I have a By Annie's little purse that is very small, but I can hook things onto it. And I've made a tissue holder out of the fabric that coordinates, and it works perfectly. But we're going to be making this, and it's a super easy, quick pattern to make. It's great for gifts. It's great for gifting. And if you make this, once you get it done, this would be the perfect gift for a college student, a person going to college, or somebody that has their computer, that needs their computer on a daily basis. Perfect gift if you're looking for a perfect gift. So that is coming up right after this. But I did want to share with you a couple of things I recently purchased, and I think you're gonna like them. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the things I need. So usually I share my hauls and different purchases that I make on the Fat Quarter Shop video, because I usually have a Quilty chat on that. And I forgot to share this one. And this one is one of the finds that I'm just so happy about. So if you remember, Monique had a box, the Open Gate Quilt subscription box, that had this beautiful fabric that I just absolutely loved. It was called Elizabeth. And I was able to find 2 charm packs on a flash sale with Missouri Star, and I shared those with you about a month ago. Well, then not too long after that, they had, or not Missouri Star, but Hancock's of Paducah, this Fat Quarter popped up. And this is the Elizabeth fabric line. It has 21 pieces. I'll put it right here. I just absolutely love these colors. I just think the greens and the pinks and the reds and the whites are just so light and feminine and so pretty. And they had this on sale for $49.99, which is an excellent deal for 21 fat quarters. But then I had 15% off, and so I got this for about $42, which is basically $2 a fat quarter, which is absolutely unheard of on a line that is fairly new. And so I was just tickled to death. So now I have this and my 2 charm packs, and I need to find the perfect project for it. So I've been kind of looking and watching things, and so I'm just really happy with this. Also during that sale, or when I was purchasing this, I also purchased the Stripology squared ruler, and this is the Stripology squared mini. Now I already have the Stripology squared ruler, which is this one, and this is great for like 1-yard cuts, quarter yards, things like that, smaller cuts. And I also already have the Stripology extra large ruler, and this one's perfect for yardage when you're cutting your yardage and you're cutting a full size fabric piece down into pieces for a quilt. It makes the strip cutting so much easier. You get nice results. I love this. I also love the other 2 because if I'm working with fat quarters or something smaller and just a small project, this is a great size. But when I'm working with blocks, I love this one. And you know that we cut a lot of different small pieces for the blocks that I design and share with you. And so this one I have really enjoyed using too. And you can cut fat quarters with it as well, but it just does a really nice job at cutting thin strips, and they're wonderful. If you want more information about them, there are lots of videos sharing how to use them, and there's so many neat things you can do with them. You can cut 1/4 inches, you can cut, I'm thinking on, I was wondering, you can do up down to a 1/4 inch cuts, which is really nice. They have the angles, they have the squaring, so you can square blocks with these as well. But if you're interested in purchasing, I'll put some links in the description box. I know Fat Quarter Shop sells them, and I can probably find them on Amazon and probably on the YouTube marketplace that I also have linked in the description box. So I'll put some links if you're interested. Normally, they don't go on sale unless there is a percentage off of everything in the store, but they usually are full price. I think this one may have, well, I got 15% off of it, but I'm trying to think if there was something on sale with it. But sometimes they have free shipping offers with them and things like that. So they are wonderful tools. So if you're looking for something, or if you have a birthday coming up and you want to ask for something that's really useful, those are perfect gifts for yourself. The last thing I want to share before we do our tutorial is this. And this one, I'm so excited. I just got it. So let me get something to cut this open because I don't want to cut what's in it. This was a flash sale on Missouri Star. And when I saw it, I just squealed. Do you like Tilda like I like Tilda? Do you like their new line? Isn't this cute? This is their Tilda something blue. And these are fat 8s. The whole collection. I absolutely love it. I'm going to put the coloring right here. And this was a flash sale, and I just happened to be up and was on the internet after midnight one night, and I saw it and I thought, that's not going to be there in the morning because I know how hot Tilda fabric is, and you don't see it on sale. Let me find the price. Okay, I found my price. This had been $53.95, which again, these are fat 8s, so that's pretty steep. The fabric is getting really expensive. I got this for $32.99. If you got this, let me know in the comments. I want to see if anybody else was able to snag this deal before they were sold out. But in the morning when I got on, there was nothing left. They had a new daily deal. So I was super excited. I was able to do the same thing with Sunday brunch. I got the Sunday brunch when it came out. Fat 8s on the daily deal also, and I saw it at night and it was gone the next morning. So I am tickled pink or tickled blue to have these fat quarters. I don't know what I'm going to make, but I love the fabric. So that is something I wanted to share with you as well. So I hope you've been finding some fabric that you are really tickled blue about as well. And I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and I hope that you have a great week, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye. You may remember a couple of videos back, I shared with you how to make this ruffled computer or laptop carrying case. And I told you then that we were going to be adding some accessories, and today we are adding this accessory right here, this ruffled tissue holder. And as you can see, it holds just your standard size tissue package, and it clips very nicely onto the D-rings that we added to the side. Now this is the first accessory that we're going to be making, and I'll be making some more in some separate videos in the future. So let's see how you make this. The tissue holder that I'm making with you today is going to coordinate with the other laptop carrying case that I made before this one. And so I've got all my fabric cut, and I'll walk you through what you need. We need a 2x10 piece for our ruffle, a 2.5 by 4 inch piece for the hook, a 6.5 by 5.5 piece for our outer fabric, and that's going to be where I'm touching right here, a 7.5 by 5.5 inch piece for the interior lining and this little detailed edge. And this next piece is optional, and it is a fusible piece of interfacing. I'm using Pellon fusible featherweight interfacing. It's 911FF, but you don't have to have that one specifically. It's whatever one you like, or you don't have to have it at all. But I do like that it gives it a nice crisp shape. Now I'm going to hold this up for you so that you can take a screenshot. Just pause the video, take a screenshot, and that way you'll have all of these cuts. And now let's get started. Oh, and I do want to mention we do have a D hook that is 1 inch wide, and it has a swivel clip on it. There's a lot of different kinds of clips. These are ones that I enjoy, and I'll put a link in the description box below. So let's take the outside fabric and the interfacing, and if yours is fusible, just iron it together to fuse it together. If it's not, that's fine, it will sew into it just fine, or you can use some basting spray to keep it in place. But I'm just going to press mine down gently, and remember to follow the manufacturer's directions on your product that you're using. And once you have it so that it feels like it is on there nicely, we are going to add the interior piece, the lining. And so just take that piece and we're going to put right sides together. And we are going to have that bottom piece, the lining piece, is going to overhang on both sides, as you see, because it's an inch bigger. So we're going to take it and we're going to scoot it over to one side and stitch it 1/4 inch away from the edge. And so now that that one's stitched, we're going to do the same with the other edge. You'll just have to pick it up and scoot it. And of course, it's not going to all press down flat because we do have a larger piece of fabric there. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to sew 1/4 inch away from that edge right there. And then once you have that, we can press that. And I have found that pressing it toward the interfacing piece works the best because it will help it lay correctly when we lay it out. So I'm just going to push that back. And then with my iron, I'm going to press it. And I'm going to try not to press that other edge because I don't want to make a press mark there. I'm just pressing this seam. And then I'll do the other side the same way, pressing toward the side that has the interfacing on it. Now, once you have it pressed, we are going to flip it inside out, or right side out, I guess we should say. And we are going to try to get it to lay flat, but have about 1/4 inch of that interior fabric on each edge. And it usually lays out pretty nicely. Kind of does it naturally. And especially if you have your seam allowance going toward the right fabric, it will lay nice pretty easily. So once you have it laying nicely like that, we can give it a press. And just make sure you don't have any pleats in those seams. All right, looks like we've got it, so just give the whole thing a nice little press. Now what we want to do is we want to find the center of this piece of fabric, and so we're just going to fold it in half and give it a little finger press. You can use the iron too, just to find the center. And we're going to keep it inside out, and we're going to match the outside edges to that center pressed line, just like this. And then we can either pin or we can clip it. This is the way we want it to stay. Okay, so we've got this ready. Now let's take our fabric for the tab for our hook, and it is that 2.5 inches by 4 inch piece of fabric. We are going to give it a little press and press it in half. Then we want to take the outside edges and match them up to that pressed line, just like so, and give this another little press. And you could finger press this too, but it just seems to hold better if I use the iron. Then we press that in half, and now we have all of our raw edges enclosed, and we're just going to take it to the sewing machine and sew on both sides of that tab. Then once it's finished, we'll just thread that through our D-ring, and it's 1 inch wide, so it should fit just perfectly in that D-ring. and we can put a little clip on it to hold it in place. Next, we want to do the ruffle, and so we take that 2" by 10" piece of fabric, and as you can see, we cut this a little more than twice the width of what the ruffle needs to be. And so what we're going to do is we're going to turn over each end about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch, something like that, and just press those ends down. The longer your strip, the more ruffle you'll have. If you have a shorter strip, it'll be a looser ruffle. And then we press that in half. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this to the sewing machine, and we are going to do basting stitches. We're going to do one right next to the edge and then another one just a little farther apart. And as you can see here, we have that done. 2 basting stitches running parallel next to that raw edge. I usually like to do a different color thread for my bobbin and then keep that color on the same side. That way I know which thread I'm pulling. And then I just take my stiletto or a needle and just pull out that first loop of stitch, and that will be the stitches that I'm going to pull. So I've got both of those right there in my hand, and I should have left longer stitches there, but I was sewing and not thinking. So I'm grabbing that, and then I'm just pulling that fabric so it will ruffle, just pulling it down as I pull it. And I work from both sides, and again, be sure you pull the same side threads. So if I were doing the blue threads, if my bobbin had blue threads, I'd pull the blue threads on both sides. That way it'll have a really nice smooth ruffle. And again, leave yourself a nice tail. And once you get it to the width of your tissue holder, you will be set. So just pull the threads and then lay it up against your tissue holder and see how it looks. And you can always make adjustments as you're pinning it on too. Just keep your threads there so you can pull, or if you need to make it longer, you can loosen up the ruffle. And once you've got it about the right size, it doesn't have to be exact, you're going to open up those top 2 pieces of fabric there, and you're going to lay your ruffle so that the raw edges are lined up with the raw edges of your tissue holder. And you want that ruffle to be going inside. This will be flipped back, and once it's flipped out the right direction, the ruffle will be hanging down. So you want to put that right up next to that edge where you've got it folded. Just butt it right up next to it. And then you're going to pin it in place. And you want to get as many pins as you need, and you want that ruffle to be straight across. Pull those threads if you need to tighten up your ruffle, and don't hesitate to use as many pins as you need. I've used a lot here. Then close it back up and put pins in and stitch a 1/4 inch away from that bottom edge. And here's what it looks like when it's finished, and you can take a peek to make sure everything looks right. And if you're okay with it, then flip it back, and you can either serge or zigzag that seam allowance right there just to finish it off nicely. And I have gotten my edge all nicely serged, and now we're going to work on the top. Take your tab with your D-ring and the clip on it and center that right in the middle, just like that, of your tissue holder. Now you can decide if you want to use that whole length of tab, or if you want to shorten your tab, just push it up and you can trim off anything that's too much. Sometimes you don't want it to hang as low, or if you have a smaller project or purse that you're hanging it on, you might just want to have the D-ring right up next to the tissue holder. But I'm going to have mine just a little bit shorter than that tab. And so I will keep it centered, and then I'm going to put some pins in it to make sure it's secure when I sew it. Also make sure that your edge of your tab is going parallel with the edge of your tissue holder so it won't be crooked when you undo it. And so I've noticed mine was a little slanted here, and I just fixed it and I'm repinning it. Then we're going to take that to our sewing machine and sew 1/4 inch away from that edge. Trim off your threads, and also if you have any of your tab hanging out, be sure you trim that off as well. And then you can either serge or do the zigzag stitch on your edge to finish it off, just like we did on the other side. All right, it's the moment of truth. Let's open it up. One thing nice about the ruffles is they help you pull your points out. And then you'll probably need a turning tool or a chopstick or something like that to push those tiny corners out. And I have mine right here. And this is just the flamingo toes, and it is a nice one because you really don't have a chance of poking it through your fabric since it's not sharp. Now you may notice some of your basting stitches on your ruffle, and if you do, it's really easy to pick those out. Just find the side that you had pulled the threads on and just cut a few of those threads, and you can pull that string, and then the back will all pop out too. So those basting stitches should come out pretty quickly. And there we have our tissue holder. You'll probably want to give it a really nice pressing to get it to lay nice and flat. And then we'll take our tissues, and this is just a cute one that I had that had little sewing machines on it. And this is a little smaller than the regular one, but it works just as fine. I usually, when I make when I carry a tissue holder like this, I don't have the plastic on the bag. A lot of people keep the plastic on the bag. I don't like to do that because I like to have my tissues easy to reach. And so here is our tote that we're going to add this to. It is going to look really cute with it. We'll just hook it right there on the D-ring. And there you have it.